Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Tuesday morning. It is the 18th day of July, 2023. This is the morning briefing coming to you from my home weather office, getting my day started and helping you to get your day started with what we can expect weather-wise. As I look out the window of the home office this morning, we have blue sky. The temperature's warm again. Many areas stayed in the 70s, especially in the foothills. We have been seeing some cooling, but it's not quite as widespread or as impressive as I thought it might be at this point. I still think temperatures today in most areas will stay under 100 degrees, but we are certainly in a warm stretch right now. And it might be the next couple of weeks where we see temperatures when they cool down to about 95 for a high, and then the higher temperatures will be up around 105. So we'll continue to see these kind of fluctuations probably for the rest of this month and probably even into early August. So let's show you what's happening this morning. Let's take a look at the satellite. It looks beautiful this morning. A couple of things to point out. Of course, we have the marine layer here along the coast. I'll show you how deep it is here in just a second, but it's a pretty good marine layer. It's interesting, there wasn't even any fog along the coast last evening at sunset, but the fog did redevelop, and with some onshore breezes today, we will see some nice cooling in areas like Napa County, Solano County, in areas that are influenced more by the Delta breeze. And we may get just enough of that to keep Sacramento and Stockton down into the mid-90s, but the north end of the valley, the south end of the valley, really not much benefit from that. The other thing you'll see here is, of course, the moisture. Yeah. We're starting to get the monsoon going down over Arizona, which is great. More afternoon cloud cover, more thunderstorms down there will help with some of the heat. I'm not saying their heat's going to go away, but that's been one of the things that's been lacking. If you've been hearing about the heat wave down in Arizona, what many commentators have left out, because they talk about the string of 110-degree days, what many of them leave out is the fact that we just haven't had the monsoon just yet. Usually by this time the monsoon is going, and it's interesting, in Phoenix, quite often some of their hottest days will be in June, and then as the monsoon comes in July and August, they get the afternoon clouds and showers, and that helps to keep temperatures down. The average high for Phoenix for this time of year is 107. Yesterday they hit 116 and tied a record high. I'm not saying that their string of 110s is going to end, because the monsoon isn't that great just yet, but the monsoon plays a big role in the weather in Arizona that a lot of folks leave out. So anyway, some of that moisture is going to continue to feed into the Sierra, and I'll show you what that will do for where we may be seeing some showers over the next couple of days. Let's go back to the marine layer, and I'll show you the forward profiler from this morning. Keep in mind that this is yesterday and this is this morning, and the marine layer built pretty nicely last night. This is what I was looking at last night around 10 o'clock. It's like, oh, it's up to 2,000 feet, dipped a little bit overnight, and now it's probably settling in around the 1,500, 1,800 feet foot range. The other thing you'll notice here is that the hotter temperatures here, 28.7 from yesterday. Now that has been reduced down to 26.2, and you can see that scale. You can't see that scale. Here's that scale up here. When I showed you this a couple of days ago, this top number of 28.7 was actually over 30. So the temperatures aloft are a little bit cooler, and we are also seeing the marine layer get a little bit deeper, so that when we do see some nice onshore wind, we can get some benefit from that. So let's take a look at CanSac. And this is this morning, and you can see the flow coming up from the delta. It's a relatively weak flow, and as we go into the afternoon, this is 2 o'clock, this is 5 o'clock. Nice flow here. So you get that good onshore flow, and so that's how areas like Solano County will cool rather nicely. And some of that flow does go up valley into Butte County and throughout San Joaquin County and Stanislaus. But you'll notice the flow really weakens once you get up to Highway 49. So for areas like Grass Valley, I'm not sure that your cooling is going to be as much as what we're going to see in parts of Solano County. As we head through the night tonight, that Delta breeze goes away. This is first thing on Wednesday morning. The flow is light, but then into the afternoon, that flow should pick back up. Let's see, this is 8 o'clock in the evening. That flow not quite as strong, and as you can see in the foothills, the flow is it just doesn't get there. So that's why I think we'll continue to see overnight lows in the foothills around the 70s, whereas places like, well, Napa will be in the 50s. We may even see overnight lows of 58 to 62 in Fairfield and Vacaville. So that's everything that's going to depend on there is, yes, we have an onshore breeze. Yes, we have a marine layer, but its inland penetration just isn't going to be all that great. Let's see. I also wanted to show you a couple of things here. So this is the HRRR. We talked about showed you the satellite and the moisture coming up. Now the HRRR does show some showers developing this afternoon, but notice where they are. Lake Tahoe is here, so this would be down the 395 corridor. So areas like, Bridgeport and Bodie, and maybe all the way down toward Bishop and Mono Lake and Bishop farther down here, would see some thunderstorms and extending off to the east. So if you do see some thunderheads, that's likely where the activity is. And even for those of you in Carson City and Gardnerville, this should be to your east, but that one over Mono Lake looks like it's going to be pretty good. And then we'd see the same thing again during the day on Wednesday, although this model doesn't go out that far. There is something else I wanted to point out, because we are talking about temperatures once again increasing later on this week. And I'm going to go to the GFS, and yeah, let's go to the GFS. All right, this is overdoing the amount of cloud cover because obviously it's not going to be that cloudy. But when we get to some of the hotter weather later on this week, this is Saturday, and then this is Sunday afternoon. This will play a role in our forecast for the weekend, the amount of cloud cover that we may see. Now, this model is not picking up anything in the way of rain, but this is also part of the monsoon flow, the flow coming up from the south. So we may see temperatures cool a little bit on Sunday and into Monday. That's Monday there. And then we clear out. But I think that we would have the possibility of maybe some elevated convection. I don't know. That's going to be one of the wild cards we'll have to watch as we head toward the weekend. And by elevated convection, I mean that you have to look at different parameters on these models. Because if you're looking at a precipitation model, it may not pick up on, it may be looking for rain and accumulating rain. But if instead you're looking at high base thunderstorms that really don't produce anything in the way of accumulating rain on the ground, but you do see elevated convection with lightning strikes, which is the possibility when you get something like this. That's something you have to look at. And this model in particular is the only one that goes out this far just yet. But when you get into some of the finer models, by the time we get to, let's say, Thursday, we'll have a better idea of what's going to go on in the mid layers of the atmosphere, what the lapse rates will be around 8 to 15,000 feet, or maybe 5 to 15,000 feet, what the lapse rates will be there, how much moisture you're going to get, and whether or not you're going to get any elevated convection to bring the possibility of lightning strikes and that sort of thing. So a lot going on, but the bottom line is that still warm, even though we may be seeing a cooler day in many areas today with highs in the mid, maybe upper 90s. That's better than the 109, but I don't see anything in the long range that's going to bring us a daytime high of 85 anytime soon. So for those of you that are not fans of warmer weather, the next few weeks are going to be kind of tough, but do keep in mind that right now we are going through, climatologically speaking, the hottest part of the year. It'll get better. That's all I've got for you this morning. It being a Tuesday, I'll be on KCRA at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11, and there will be a Facebook live chat tonight at 8 o'clock if everything works out. Last Thursday, there was some sort of a technical thing with Facebook. I couldn't log on. Don't know why. Let's hope that doesn't happen tonight so we can have a Facebook live chat tonight at 8. All right, that's everything I've got. Make it a great day. I'll talk to you later.